And we are back live right here at the Soaring Eagle Casino, Mid-Michigan, Paracon, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. I'll tell you, folks, what an amazing day. Lots of great people coming through. The place has been flooded. And right now I have an author, speaker, investigator, Jason McLeod. How you doing, sir?
You're fired.
I'm fired.
It's McLeod.
McLeod. And I should know that because...
It's not easy. It's Leod, so it's not easy. You get a pass.
All right. And I'm Canadian, so we're allowed to mispronounce everything.
Exactly. So, I'm Jason McLeod. I'm here at Mid-Michigan, and actually I'm here as a presenter. I was actually paid to come in and speak today because the organizers heard me lecture at Petoskey, Michigan, which was the first event I did of the year in April. And they decided, hey, I want you to come and lecture here, so I am, and it's really great to have everything covered, and it feels good. And but my main message here is to warn kids against using Ouija boards, which is the reason I wrote about the case called Dark Siege.
Absolutely, and it, two amazing books. Like you had to cover this case, which was a Warren's case.
It was my case.
Like your case?
I consulted with the Warrens on it because it was my case, and
And who would not want to get the Warrens involved?
Exactly.
I mean, because
I would like your opinion on this matter.
especially the content of the case itself was very dark. Like the family went through a lot of traumatic experiences with this. And you wrote the initial book, you released it, and then you went back because that wasn't it. Like the
No.
case wasn't finished as soon as you got
I
it.
wanted to self-publish it because I wanted to maintain the integrity of the case. And I released the first volume, which was 467 pages. I couldn't release a 900-page debut self-pub novel. It would have been a hard sell, I think, for that price. But my whole purpose and the family's purpose is to warn kids especially, but everybody, don't open doorways. Don't use Ouija boards, which is a way to open that doorway. Don't dabble into things you don't understand. Don't look into the darkness because you might not like what's looking back. And I used my bachelor's in English creative writing to actually recreate this case in a cinematic horror format that's really hard to put down, really hard to read at night because it's too terrifying. And my friend and colleague Bishop, he's my colleague in that he's an actual bishop and clergy, and I am not, but he made my books required reading for his demonology course, and a huge proponent of my books. Actually got me on Coast to Coast the first time by plugging my book on a show that he was on, and he said, nobody plugs other people's books. He's like, you have to read these books.
Right.
So he's been a great proponent, and he's a great man. The guy works himself to death, not literally, thankfully.
Or that would be a whole other case.
That would be another case, but I don't think he'd linger around. I think he'd go right back and be standing right next to the throne of God. So.
That is quite amazing. So people who want to be able to pick up your books, where is the best place to pick them up?
Darksiege.com, DARKSIEGE.com. It's the most terrifying case of my career. Again, recreated it in a cinematic horror format. So it reads like fiction, and it is, like Stephen King book. It is that quality. I have phenomenal reviews, 420 reviews, 4.4 star rating. The only people that didn't review it in a good fashion were those that just simply couldn't believe that it was true.
Right. But that is the thing, though, and I mean that's not up for you to make people believe what's happened,
Right.
because a family lived through it. They know what happened. You know what happened. You were there. So, and I mean, to the rest of the world, they want to believe it or not. But I'll tell you, the story is very compelling, very interesting, and if you have a chance to be at an event, listen to Jason talk. He is an amazing speaker. And it makes you want to read the book even more after listening to him talk, because there's probably a lot, like you don't put in the total graphic details of everything, because most people will be running out and trying to get an exorcism done on themselves after they listen to the talk.
Yeah, but you know what? I included a chapter analysis at the end, which is really helping people understand the science and spirituality behind the paranormal. This is from my understanding. And love is the highest vibration. Fear is the lowest vibration. You want to raise the vibration of your living space. So it teaches you how to empower yourself, how to pray for protection properly. I'm going to go lecture here in another 5 minutes or so I have to head out. But Darksiege.com, you can check my books out there. There's 2 volumes. It's Dark Siege, and then A Connecticut Family's Nightmare, and then Dark Siege 2, The Nightmare Returns. I'm writing 2 novels right now consecutively. One is called Rage and Rathdrum, and it's a case that Lorraine asked me to investigate in Idaho on their behalf when I was in school in Washington State. The other is a case that I'm going to be talking about tonight in my lecture, which took place in Vermont in 1990. I actually have an audio of that recording of that case. You'll hear both Ed and Lorraine and myself and our original team of investigators in the heat of the moment, and it was absolutely terrifying what took place in that. But check us out.
Absolutely. So, Jason, thank you for your time. Don't get ready to talk.
Thank you.
And folks, right here at the TPV Nation, we always bring you the biggest, the baddest developments. In the meantime and in between time, like we say, is happy hauntings.